up, amazing tarot family? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie, and I am going to read your tarot cards after two very important announcements here on my channel. The first one being I am modifying my way of reading ever so slightly. So moving forward, I'm highly encouraging you all to specifically watch tarot readings for your rising sign. The reason being, when I know someone's rising sign, it immediately tells me a lot more about what's going on in their birth chart based on planetary movements and transits in the sky. And yeah, the main goal being I want to deliver even better tarot readings moving forward, so I'm going to give this a try. You are welcome to watch whatever video you want. If you are a sun sign Taurus and you want to watch Taurus, that's fine. I'm just putting in a plug that if you know you are a rising sign Virgo, it would be more accurate and possibly more helpful to you to watch your rising sign. That's the first announcement. I'm very excited to share these kind of new reading formats with you, but they will be very similar. I'm still going to do love readings and occasionally career and money readings, okay? Second announcement is that I have reached 1,000 subs on Instagram, which is awesome, but it's awesome for you guys because I'm doing free tarot giveaways. I'm going to be doing 3 mini giveaways. You will get to submit a question to me privately if you are a winner, and we will figure out what you need from your reading. But what you need to know first and foremost is how to enter the contest. I am asking everyone to leave a comment on any video of your choice, like this one, for instance, here on YouTube, commenting on the 3 qualities you admire most about yourself. So that could be anything, right? That could be creativity, intelligence, loyalty, honesty, kindness. After those 3 adjectives, those 3 descriptor words, I want you to put the hashtag Team Teacup, because that will let me know that you are actually entering the contest and not just leaving a random comment about a video. I will announce the winner on Sunday, May 9th. I will respond to your comment and ask you to shoot me an email so we can figure out what you want from your tarot reading. You can enter as many times as you want, but 1 entry is 1 comment. So you can leave as many comments as you want. It can be the same descriptors. It can be different ones. That's up to you. Other than that, happy Taurus season. Let's hop into your tarot readings. What's up, Aries gang? Specifically Aries rising, but everyone is welcome here. Let's read your tarot cards. Let's tap into that Aries energy. I apologize for my unexpected absence last week. I just got pulled in a different direction, but all is good and I am happy to be back. So thank you for your patience, Aries. Let's talk about romantic relationships. Let's start there. What is showing up in, let's say, Aries dating life for those who are single and looking, or kind of on the trail of something romantic. A little bit of waiting on a Libra. Let's see. It could be that you're waiting on some sort of I'm going to say like formal engagement or formal contract. What's the outlook there? More waiting. There's a lot of, you literally have my 2 waiting cards. So, wah wah. I know it's not the happiest message that everybody wants to hear. However, these are weekly readings, guys, right? So it would be highly suspicious if every week it was like, oh, this is coming in and this is, so yeah, you got a week of waiting if you are dating. It's very likely that if you're not thinking about a Libra, there's a Libra who's wanting to build with you, but it may be like reversed in that it feels like you're making them wait, Aries rising. So could also possibly involve someone with a lot of Neptune or Neptune-esque energy. Typically I relate that to Pisces, but it could also just be someone who's kind of hopeless, romantic, dreamer, artistic, creative type. Maybe that's you, Aries, right? But yeah, there's a little bit of that like dreamy, fantasizing energy. So I'm not sure whose end that's on, but someone. So let's see, where are you at with this then? What is the Aries outlook? Because that's sort of what I'm reading for someone else. So you have a little bit of anxiety, probably because you're waiting on someone. Yeah, I think you're waiting on communication from someone. Yeah, I don't know. I could go either way with this in terms of who's who, so you can decide, right? I'm reading for 2 different characters. I feel like maybe you either put in effort to communicate with someone and you just haven't heard back, or you feel like this person has other options. It could be that your Libra may be dreaming of someone else, in which case you're kind of waiting for them. So what is the outlook for Aries then in the coming week or so? How is this going to pan out in the coming week? As much as I'm allowed to know or tell them. If you were already in some sort of established relationship, I'm almost getting the idea too that somebody may have gotten wandering eyes. I'm not sure if they acted on it, but whether they did or not, there's a sense of guilt. It could be like someone's getting agitated playing the waiting game, so they're willing to pursue something else, but then when they do, they feel kind of almost like disappointed in themselves. Like, I want to wait for I don't want to say the right one. I'm not necessarily saying like marriage, right? But yeah, there's something to this of like, well, that's the one I want, but they're not coming in, so I'm going to go act on this one. But then when I do, I feel weird about it because that's really the one I want. I know that sounds complicated, but that's sort of what this story is telling me here. So you seem to be the one that has a lot of anxiety about this, especially about maybe a sexual connection or someone who you're holding a lot of desire for, but maybe it's unmatched. Maybe this person is kind of keeping you on the line. They're keeping you warm, but they're not acting on anything, which I understand. That's incredibly annoying and frustrating for you, right? The King of Swords, yeah. So my least attached king. If anything, I think this is saying it might be time to mentally detach from this, because if it really is causing you a lot of kind of strain and anxiety, it might be saying here that like, ooh, yeah, maybe it's not so good for your mental health to be holding on to this. With the Justice card showing up, which represents sort of this matter of like, truth and justice, I'm curious, so what is this person's truth then? Like, if this person could communicate something in all their honesty and truth, what would they tell Aries about this connection? The one that they're thinking about? Yeah, I think they're done with it. Oh, Aries, I'm sending you a big hug. I know this one's a little bit hard to hear. It's possible that aside from this person, so whoever you are attributing these qualities to, it's possible that if you kind of put yourself out there and, I don't know, mingle with new people, there could be an air sign, a different air sign, not this Libra, if this truly is a Libra, a different air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, who may actually be interested in you. I think it would start off slow. Again, with the King of Swords, there's, in theory, a lot of maturity there, but it's not going to be hot and heavy really quickly. Though, you'd be surprised. The King of Swords packs a lot of heat, if you know what I'm saying. So, he doesn't necessarily wear it on his sleeve because it's almost like, first and foremost, he needs to be intellectually stimulated, and maybe this is you as well, right? There's something about you need to have sort of a nice rapport, a nice connection before it turns sexual, if that makes sense. If that's what you're looking for, right? You can say sexual, romantic, whatever it is. Yeah, so if this option doesn't work out, of course there's other fish in the sea. I don't have to tell you that. And I know that's hard to hear because a lot of you, it feels like you were holding out for this person for quite a long time, or vice versa if this is a cross-watchers reading. If Libra's cross-watching on Aries, again, it feels a little bit sticky. However, there could be another Libra in line or whoever this represents. But yeah, this person, the fact that they're presenting as a king, I do like because there's a maturity there. But again, it may take a little bit of patience for this to turn into something that is very fill in the blank, romantic, sexual, whatever it is you're looking for. But I honestly, like, the main message here is that if waiting on this person is giving you a lot of anxiety, and also, I think this is saying you already know the truth. It's like it's written on the wall. It might be time to wrap this up for your mental health and start investing your time more or less in tangible reality, in the truth of the matter, versus dreaming about what it could be, like living in fantasy land a little bit. Okay, Aries, let's move on. I feel like I'm beating you up. Tell me a little bit about, let's talk about Aries money. Let's put something in each of their money houses here. So, what's going on with your money and your career? Ooh, wow. So in your career, you have 10 of Pentacles, like your public image, your long-term career goals. So in the future, you have an excellent money card, probably my favorite money card. All right, so then you need to walk away from a project or a team or a situation where they don't value you. If they make you feel less than, if they talk down to you, I can tell you already, that's not going to fly because if you're an Aries rising, right? Yeah, the way you present yourself, it's almost like you put yourself into your work, and there's a lot of integrity in what you do, Aries. So there's something about if someone doesn't match your vibe, or if you don't, almost like, I'm almost getting like speak the same language. That may be literal for some of you. There's something about you may need to detach from, it's not necessarily the job, but from the person you're working with. Although, I don't know, the more I look at this, you may have, and I mean this in a positive way, like almost wandering eyes about another career. or another opportunity. Let's put it that way. Even if you're not moving career fields, or you're not moving from the, the company or whatever it is, the office, you may have your sights set on something bigger, but I'm almost getting your current leadership may not see your fullest potential simply because of their own ignorance. I don't think it's a reflection on you at all. In fact, I'm being called to say if you start taking on that criticism and sort of allowing it to bleed into your self-worth, your value, you're looking at it the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with taking constructive criticism, but not when it affects your sort of ability to love yourself. There's a good word I'm grasping at and I can't quite find. I think some of you may decide to branch out from your current position almost in like the corporate chain, or I'm getting things like status, ladder, like hierarchy, something about that. The person right above you, and I don't mean to offend, if anything, I'm your cheerleader here. It's like they don't see the correct path forward for you, so you may have to go and find it yourself. You may have to go and knock on the door of, a different supervisor and be like, hey, can I talk with you? Or I wouldn't say bang down the door. I mean, I don't even know if I want to say go through the proper channels, because ultimately I'm kind of a tarot reader who believes in no risk, no reward. Now, obviously, again, you're responsible for all your own actions and decisions, but yeah, there's something about needing to be just ever so slightly more adventurous in sort of your daily rhythm, your daily routines, by keeping it safe and existing in the status quo and just hoping someone notices you. That's not going to happen. And again, I say this with the utmost love and cheerleader-esque energy. You have big things in your future. This could represent a bigger salary, I'm just getting like more respect, more recognition for what you bring to the table, but it does come with adventurously walking away from something that you have outgrown. That's really what I'm getting here. Some of you may have gotten a job offer where the money just wasn't what you needed it to be, your salary, your pay grade, it didn't meet your requirements, and so you declined it. You decided to say no, you decided to walk away. And again, I always want to say with sympathy, I understand we don't always have the luxury of doing that, but I would offer to you, it all depends on where you're placing your system of value. If you're placing value in, hey, I have to pay my bills, I need a job, that's valid. You're placing your values in the fact that you need to exist and live in this spot and live, pay rent, whatever. Others of you who you're able to get by and maybe, life is a little bit more comfortable at this point, which again, there's no shade or judgment here. It's just a simple truth, right? You may be able to put your value in something greater, more than just, I'll take anything I can get. Maybe you're willing to examine, do they value me though? Do they treat me with respect? Are they loyal at all to the services that I offer and vice versa? Yeah, I think you're being asked whenever possible, wherever possible, to aim a little bit higher, because you do bring a lot to the table, but I just get this idea that you're working in a group or an environment or with a team that it's not that they don't like you, Aries, though I would argue for some of you, your suspicion might be true. Almost like mean girl energy I'm getting a little bit. Like high school energy. I don't even want to assign a gender to it. Like a little bit like catty, or a little bit competitive, but in a way where it's not healthy competition. Like it's rubbing people the wrong way. And I think it's among groups of people here. I just don't think it's the best environment for you. I don't know how else to say it. So what is Aries rising being told to walk away from? Interesting. Smugness. The person who's up on the high horse, they're always going to look down on you. Does this surprise you? Because I think you're going to know if it's your message, if this is offering you confirmations on what you were already thinking and feeling. If this is coming out of nowhere, this might not be, accurate to you. Yeah, hold on to who you are. Don't diminish your self-worth or your values. Have hold on to, cling to your pride. What it is that you offer, and it's almost like make an even exchange for it. Find a fair deal where you're not struggling to make ends meet at a job or at a place where you're not even enjoying it that much anyway, or you're not living up to your fullest potential, because this is an amazing card. This says that there's so much potential in your future. In fact, let's talk more about that. Don't be afraid to wander. This is sort of the adventurer. He's curious. This is sort of like wanderlust energy, right? He's the adventurer. He's the explorer. He's young. He's innocent. He's youthful. He's a student or a child, right, in this depiction. So it's almost like maintain that childlike curiosity and fascination, because that's going to serve you well in order to get to this. Some of you may end up working with children or students for that matter. Doing anything that's very creative or spiritual with that wands energy. This just feels like you're tapped out. I think this is saying if you are in a place right now where you have ascended the mountain as high as you can and you're still not satisfied, you're craving more, well, you know exactly what you need to do then, right? This feels like you may have tapped out on the max amount of salary that they're willing to pay you, or you may have you may have the highest job title, or of what they're willing to give you at this point, you've maxed out, you've tapped out, and you're just kind of like, oh, but I'm hungry for more, I need more. And with the Eight of Cups, I always say two things. It takes bravery to walk away from what is familiar, but also, this is not for nothing. This is not a card where it says, oh, it's a wash, walk away, it's, everything that you've built up until this point has served you. That should be an aspect of pride. I think what some of my Aries are not seeing, though, is that by holding on to what is familiar, you're denying yourself of this. You're denying yourself of all that is meant to come into you, which you will find eventually. I think this is about becoming comfortable with exploring new territory. Possibly something with more research. Hold on. And working in an environment that I think is less cutthroat. There's nothing wrong with that competitor spirit. I very much associate with Aries sort of that warrior mentality. I'm hearing go to the mattresses, right? Isn't that from The Godfather or something? I don't know, whatever. That healthy competitive spirit, a lot of my Aries relate to that, and that's exciting for you. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it gets cutthroat and you're not enjoying it, you're making enemies among coworkers, and also, are we even enjoying what we're doing? That's where I think you're being asked to question, is this really right for you? Are you enjoying it? Or are you meant to travel elsewhere I would even say to a place that kind of like this is more intellectually stimulating, where it's more interesting, it's more fascinating. There's a curiosity, right? Kind of mental stimulation going on here. And it doesn't feel like you're constantly needing to barter or negotiate for self-respect. Something in athletic training may be well suited for some of you. Or even if you're just doing that in your spare time, exercising right now is going to be, well, obviously it's always important, but especially for you guys to work off some sort of let out some steam, to decompress at the end of the day. There's something about you have to get it out in a healthy way, because otherwise it's like you're holding on to all this stress and this anxiety. Tell me more about this Ten of Pentacles for Aries, please. Yeah, I think this has to do with finding a new team where you're welcomed, where your ideas are supported, where people are equally fascinated and curious to what you bring to the table and not shutting down every idea that you have. There's just something about, you have to you have to immerse yourself with people and situations that make you feel alive. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you going. You can totally, invest in the steady paycheck, but if you're not happy doing it, are you going to burn out quicker? I'm just asking, right? You already know the answers to this, Aries. I think this is just reinforcing what some of you need to hear. Pluto is sitting in your 10th house of career, so it's undergoing a lot of major transformations right now, isn't it? And it will continue to do so. Pluto's going to be sitting there for quite a while, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, Pluto represents death and rebirth. It's like Phoenix from the ashes. So just when you think everything is gone and you have nothing left, it's quite the opposite. It sort of reinvents itself to become this amazing opportunity. That's what Pluto does. It works in very extreme ways. Scorpionic energy, right? But we have to remember, it really is the phoenix that rises from the ashes. So there is no we're done. We just, in metaphor, I just got, the shit kicked out of me and now I don't know what to do. Well, just you wait, because you're in that interim, in that waiting period, you would serve yourself well to go off and just do something that is a little bit wacky or silly or fun, that is emotionally, mentally fulfilling or inspiring in some way, because you're going to come across something. And by something, I want to say a team or a company environment that you're like, where has this been my whole life? Like, this feels really good, Aries. I like that a lot. Yeah, for a lot of you, especially with Jupiter going into Pisces, that's going to be in your 12th house, there's going to be an expansion of your, how do I want to say this? Your spiritual activities, being stimulated by things that, it might be in a more private setting, but also something, again, that's more spiritual or uses your, I wanted to say your physical body, but almost something like meditative. Meditation is going to be very important to you in the coming months. Yeah, so there's a lot of focus in your house of money right now. In fact, there's a stellium for everybody in Taurus, and Taurus rules your second house if you are an Aries rising. So yeah, there's shocking changes with planet Uranus there, but there's also good things too, because Venus is there. You have the planet of money in the sign of, or the planet of money in your house of money, as well as self-worth, right? So I think this is a reminder for you to love yourself and go after your biggest dreams, right? And it starts with taking action towards something. Absolutely. Put on your brave face. That's a Frank Turner song. I love that song. I love Frank Turner. Travel, go outside the comfort zone, leave what is familiar, even if for a day, right? Go on a mini vacation, or just, I don't know, take a trip to the ocean. See where you find inspiration, because where you feel inspired is it's almost like catching the scent of something. You're meant to go there. You're meant to explore and discover more of that, Aries. All right. Let's go around the wheel and see what's up romantically with each zodiac sign. I'm just going to end it with that because why not? All right. If you are dealing with another Aries, what's the deal there? Two of Cups. Beautiful. Pursue it. Go on a date. There's mutual interest there. If you're dealing with a Taurus, Magician. Yeah. So there may be a Taurus trying to manifest you in their life, or vice versa. I almost feel like if you already know who this Taurus is, there's some sort of mutual, what is the word? Not flirtation, attraction. There's a mutual attraction, but no one's spoken about it yet. No one's acted on it. If you're dealing with a Gemini, they're defensive. This may be someone who you have a past with, or they just might not be available. So if the Gemini is giving you sort of cease and desist vibes, that's for a good reason. You should listen to that. Ooh, if you're dealing with a Cancer, Six of Pentacles and Strength. It's very strong. The Cancer, there could be a very strong sexual attraction with a Cancer, and you get what you give. I'm gonna leave you with that. Yeah, I like the vibe of the Cancer. Just do know if the Cancer is already involved with someone, every now and then, Six of Pentacles, it can indicate third-party stuff. So if you're dealing with a Cancer, Leo, Cusper, I like this. If not, there could be a third-party involvement with a Leo or with a Cancer. So just be cautious of that. If you're going to act on something and you don't know this person very well, make sure they're not already with someone or entertaining the idea of someone else. All right, if you're dealing with a Leo, let's see, Ace of Wands. All right, so passion, someone who's very creative and artistic. Yeah, you may end up dating a Leo. They're coming up in your house of dating. But they may have just gotten over a breakup, so it's not to say you can't pursue this. I would say make sure you both have done the healing work so that you don't end up with dating a broken person, right? And I don't mean to throw shade on your person. It's just a matter of fact that everybody is responsible for, doing the healing work after a breakup. Otherwise, you may get into a relationship with a person who is looking to be fixed, or essentially, what is a good word for it? Like rebounding. Thank you, Spirit. Just make sure the Leo is not rebounding. But I do like the vibe with the Ace of Wands. I don't love the Five of Cups, but, we'll see. All right, if you're dealing with a Virgo, what's the deal with the Virgo and Aries? The Fool. Someone's really excited to hang out with you. I think someone's waiting to make the first move, but there's like a yes. So you may have just gotten asked out by one, or you may be ascending to the next level with them, right, if this is not totally new. I actually like the vibe with the Virgo there. If you're dealing with a Libra, Ten of Pentacles, let's see, husband-wifey material, Knight of Swords, but arguments. Are there arguments about the family? With the husband. All right. Of course the Libra one has to be complicated. That's what this one was too, right? What's the deal here? If you're already married to one, there may be arguments among the family about the child or about the teenager. That's for some of you. Hold on. The Libra. Yeah, I don't know. I sort of get the idea that someone may be sort of self-focused at this point and the other person is feeling some type of way about it. So there needs to be a discussion here to break the ice of whatever is nagging at the person who feels slighted. It's almost like this person, this is a dumb metaphor, but it's like this person expects you to share with them, and they happily will, but you have to remind them to do that, or to ask them to, which for some of you might be a deal breaker, like, oh, well, I shouldn't have to ask, but more or less that's what I'm getting here. This situation could be fixed by someone expressing or communicating, I'm almost wanting to say like their grudge or their hostility, but this whole thing of like, well, they should know how I feel, they don't. So if you're looking to fix this, Aries, or vice versa, if this is for Libra and Aries, I don't know why I keep wanting to mention that, but I feel like there's cross watchers in this reading. This person will happily share their, cake, but it's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. But you have to tell them. They don't think of it that way. They may have grown up in a family where they were raised a certain way, and so they lack sort of that, I don't know, that thing that you just assume that they have and they don't. So I don't know. Communicate. That's what I'm getting there. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, the Sun, happy, absolutely, love it. If you're dealing with a Sag, 10 of Cups, fairy tale endings, possibly marriage, possibly going on a trip with them or their family. Some sort of like vacation or getaway. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, King of Wands, classic Capricorn, taking their career very seriously. But King of Wands says they are a very passionate person. They love their pet. You're into understanding this Capricorn is talking about their pet or their animal. Or if they already have a child, if they're like a single parent or something, including their child is very important to the Capricorn. So you do have a divine pairing, which is interesting. So you have the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So especially for my male Aries with a female Capricorn, yes, it's not to say it couldn't be same-sex couples. This could be challenging, but it could be really beautiful if you guys could bridge the gap between your differences. But you have mature people showing up there, so I do like it. Again, with the Queen of Pentacles, which is sometimes my wifey card, the way this is sometimes my husband card, just make sure this person isn't already married. And I mean, if they are, then you're going to do what you want to do, but I don't have to tell you that, right? You're making it more complicated if you're pursuing someone who's already married. All right, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, this Aquarius is kind of happy being single. It's very likely this person just got out of a long-term contract or partnership or relationship or marriage, so they're not rushing it. They're kind of enjoying their freedom, but they're still interested. Like, if you already know who this is, it's like they're peeking up on you, but they're not looking to be like, oh my gosh, move in with me. That's not the vibe there. And last but not least, if you're dealing with a Pisces, the Pisces is holding on to you, but let's see. The Pisces might be hiding something from you. There's some sort of secret. What is this about? And it might be about an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They may have another person, but I don't know what this is. What's the deal here? Page of Wands, yeah. So kind of the same story with the Aquarius. It could be someone who's cuspy. They're interested in holding on to you, but they're not wanting you to know that they still have other romantic prospects. Now, I don't necessarily even think that they've acted on it. It's more like this dreamy, like this person may still dream about their ex or check in on their ex. So they're not technically cheating, but they're holding on to things from their past when if this is going to be something new and good and beautiful, then they really need to sever that off. That's sort of what I get with the Pisces. All right, Aries Rising, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next Tuesday for more tarot. And don't forget to enter the contest if you would like to for a free tarot reading. Bye, guys.